The proudest moment for us, or for me, was hiring our first person. I remember literally walking across the road to the cafe to meet with him, and he had his little cheese cutter hat on, and he was like really excited to come and join the team, and we were just as excited that someone wanted to come and join the team. King's Christian College on the Gold Coast was actually the school that I went to. Both my parents are teachers there, and I was doing a little bit of work for them, and the principal approached me and said that they'd like to build an app for their parents.
Private schools always want to be involved with parents, communicate with them effectively. And we had the idea, would it be possible to have an app just for schools which enabled us to communicate effectively in real time with parents?
And I hadn't built any apps before, this is a first for me, so I just said yes like any young entrepreneur does, and I figured I'll learn it on the weekends, and that's what I did. It was kind of groundbreaking at the time. No other school had an app. Parents really gravitated towards it, and the school loved it, and I wasn't able to do as much development because I was going out to see schools. That's when I reached out to Chris, who a few years prior we'd met on a double date, and I knew that he was in sales and I knew that he was good at it.
He called me one day. He said, hey, like I've built an app. Some schools called me, I got no idea what I'm doing. Do you want to jump on?
He jumped straight on board, and yeah, that's kind of what seeded Digistorm.
A couple of weeks later, we were trying to think of a name for Digistorm. We named Digistorm Education. And that was the only way we thought of making an education-based company. We just chucked education on the end.
We knew that app worked great for Kings, and we knew that the parents loved it. Maybe 2 or 3 school apps in, we realised, yeah, there's definitely something here, and this is something that schools want, and they love working with us, and they like what we're bringing to the table.
Digistorm was the first organisation that we really wanted to form a collaborative relationship with. Digistorm's solutions and also their thought leadership in that area is something that we really wanted to align ourselves with.
Customers made us think that integrations were important for them.
Early on, we started integrating with Taz's calendar, and
since then, integrations have been a huge part of who Digistorm are.
I think the whole entire team feels very comfortable working with Digistorm when we have to pick up the phone. The customer doesn't have to be the middleman. We have that relationship, we have that connection, and it's a really good one as well.
It's quite clear that Digistorm have a focus on people and culture. The last 4 or so years that I've been working with Digistorm, I've met some people who are really passionate and genuine, and it makes it quite easy and enjoyable to work with them.
Digistorm's culture is, I think, a reflection of the place that I always wanted to work in.
We've kind of always had that policy that we only want to hire people that would have a beer with.
You know, it's friendly and supportive, and everyone there I would, consider a friend.
From, the very first day that Digistorm started, we may not have known it, but what the guys were building internally as a culture is actually what's stuck around to this day. It's always been customer at the forefront. What are they doing? What do they need? How can we support them? How can we help them?
We see Digistorm as partners, but also great mates. We don't just work together, we work really well together.
Chris, since our very beginnings, he's had that really close connection with the customers.
He loves his clients and he loves his relationships. He would be like, oh, give these guys a call. I haven't spoken to them for a little while, and then I would literally go to call them, and then he'd be like, oh, I might just call them first and just have a chat.
I love schools. I love the people that work in them. People that we work with in schools, I would genuinely consider friends. And we go to conferences, and we're so excited to see these people who I haven't seen in a year or 2 years or 3 years.
A big advantage of moving here to the United States is the fact that I'm now in a similar, if not same time zone to our existing schools that we work with, which means that schools like Duke School, like my friends at Muskegon Catholic Central, have been delighted that we've been able to connect on a more regular basis.
Every single product that we have is a result of a customer asking us to help them solve a problem.
Everything that you see in especially our funnel CRM is based on client feedback.
If you look at our backlog for funnel and other platforms, we've got hundreds of tickets here, and it's all driven by the schools. They have really made Digistorm be the company that it is through them challenging us to be better. And we just try our best to rise to that challenge.
They might not think that a 5-minute phone conversation could drive a brand new feature and functionality in a product that thousands of people use daily, but that is what happens.
Digistorm's customers have really pushed the limits for us. They know what they want, and that's very helpful for us as a company to keep on growing.
You know, we definitely plan to keep that going in the future, and we want to introduce user groups and roundtables at conferences and things like that, so that they, you know, can keep telling us what they need, and we can keep delivering on solutions to help them solve those problems.
How do I see Digistorm evolving over 10 years? I'll probably be kicked out by then.
I know that we'll be a more refined version of ourselves now.
I see America playing a big part in that future, and the UK or Europe. You know, we do have a few schools over there.
We want to be a company that surprises them with features that maybe they didn't even know that they wanted yet.
We are very conscious of who we are working for, and we want to make sure that we're delivering a better experience for them.